Emily and I am currently converting this bus into my second dream home on wheels, and today I installed one of the most exciting upgrades to my bus. Dometic are the leaders in RV air conditioning, so I am super excited to have the FreshJet 7 Series Plus from Caravan RV Camping in my build. This is the largest and most powerful unit in the FreshJet range with 3,400 watts of cooling capacity, making it absolutely perfect for my bus or large caravans and vans. It has a super low profile on the roof, making it nice and sleek, and with its inverter technology it can be ran off-grid, which is exactly why I wanted this unit. It is going to be so nice to be staying cool and comfortable on the road, and with the inbuilt air purifier it means that I have clean, cool air no matter where I am. I have filmed a step-by-step guide so that you know exactly how to DIY install a Dometic FreshJet 7 Series air conditioning unit for yourself. So make sure to watch this video for all of the tips and tricks of how to install one of these bad boys on your van, bus or caravan, and head on over to Caravan RV Camping to check out their full range for yourself. So this is the Dometic FreshJet 7 Series Plus. The FreshJet comes in 3 different sizes. I have the Plus, which is perfect for my size of bus, but depending on your size of van, caravan or bus will depend on which unit is the best size for you. In the box comes the FreshJet unit, and then this is the air distribution box, which goes on the inside of your vehicle. That connects up to the rooftop air conditioner and is where everything is controlled from, and obviously where your aircon will come out from. In that box you will also get these ducts, so depending on how thick your ceiling is will depend on how many ducts you need to install, and you'll also get this roof frame. Also in the box are these bolts which go through the air distribution unit up through here into the aircon unit on your roof, and some electrical cable connectors, and you have a remote control obviously to power the whole thing. So let me take you outside and I will show you all of the other bits and bobs that we need to use to have this installed, and we will get to work. The other things that you will need to install your Dometic FreshJet air conditioning unit are a jigsaw, a drill, a metal file, drill bits, hex head drill bits, some adhesive and sealant, and some rust guard. Plus, depending on your roof thickness and if you are having to compromise the integrity of your roof structure, you may also need to use some kind of timber framing to create a support for the air conditioning. Mine is going to be sitting between 2 solid roof rails, as well as having some support on the back side of the air conditioning unit. So I'm not sure if I actually need to build an additional frame, but I might just do that for the peace of mind anyway. Well, welcome to the roof of my bus. The air conditioning unit is going to be going right here. What I'm going to do now is map out exactly where the air conditioning unit is going to go and where I need to cut my hole. I'm cutting the hole to 360 by 360. So let's map that out, and then I'll show you how to cut your hole in your roof. Okay, so I've mapped out my hole that I am going to cut. The next step is to drill some pilot holes in the corners, drill some bigger holes to fit the jigsaw blade through, and then we go for gold. So I have drilled 4 pilot holes in each corner. So I first did a little pilot hole and then a larger pilot hole that is going to fit the edge of the jigsaw on it. And now it is time to cut the hole. So to help a little bit with vibrations and just keeping the big piece of metal in place is just to grab some tape and just tape it as you cut it. Then hopefully it will help with it not vibrating as much. It's still a little tricky, and it will also stop it from just falling straight down into the bus as soon as you finish that last cut. And there we go. And now comes the moment of truth. I am always nervous before actually testing that the hole is the right size. So fingers crossed. It's the front. Perfect! Hi! So happy with that. Awesome. I think because of the ribs of the bus, I'm probably going to have to build this up a little bit with butyl tape. That is not in the actual instructions, but I have had to do that with my other fan on the roof. And obviously you don't want there to be like any random flex through these sections. You want your aircon unit to be sitting nice and flush and flat. So what I'm going to do now is take this metal file and go around all of the edges to make sure that that is nice and smooth. I'm also going to get my vacuum cleaner up here and vacuum up as much of these metal shavings as what I can get. You never want to leave any metal on your roof because obviously it can rust very quickly. The next step is going to be getting a rust protection paint and painting that on the exposed metal to ensure obviously that it doesn't rust. You never want to leave any metal exposed because it can just rust so simply. So while I am up here doing this, I thought that I would answer a couple of questions that I had, and I'm sure you have, about installing one of the Dometic FreshJet air conditioning units. So one of the first questions that I had, and one of the reasons why I didn't end up putting an air conditioning unit on my van, was being able to run this off-grid. So the Dometic FreshJet 7 series air conditioning units are all ran with inverter technology. They can be ran off-grid, but you do need to have quite a solid power bank to do so. I am super excited that in the bus I will be having a very large solar as well as battery bank. So I will be able to run my air conditioning off-grid for a couple of hours at a time. I also have the option that when I'm in campsites, or if it's super hot and I can't be running it off-grid for a long time, I can plug into mains power and still run it through my inverter, but connected to mains so that the air conditioning unit will run and I won't have any issues with power whatsoever. All right, so I'm going to let this paint dry for a few minutes. The frame is not going to sit perfectly flat. In the instructions, it does say to use a mastic sealant, such as this one, to basically go around the edge of the frame and stick that on, which I still will do. But before doing that, I'm going to use this butyl tape to build up the edges to make sure that the frame does sit perfectly flat between each of these ribs in the bus. All you need to do with this is basically get your length. It is super sticky, so it also will help adhere the frame. Also make sure that you're putting the frame in the right position, because once it sticks, it is really hard to get it back up again. Let's put this right around the edge of the hole here and basically just build it up in layers until it is in line with the ribs. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see, but it does say 360 by 360, this side up. So that is the side that I need to put the frame into that hole. So run a bead of, this is an adhesive sealant, around the outside edge. Okay, now there is caulking all along the outside here. It is time to put this in. Now I'm going to run a bit more caulking around the outside to make sure it is all sealed up. And my friends are here to help me put the aircon on the roof. Hello! The mussels have arrived. Can you go and see my dog so she doesn't break down the door? Oh, who is it, Luna? Who is it? Maybe if we bring it up and we put it here. But yeah, so I'll stay on this side because this doesn't take as much weight, and then the second person can go on that side. And we can kind of...
So in that there...
Well, yeah, we can rest it here first and then we can readjust. I'm nervous.
Do you want...
We just have to be careful of that yellow rail too.
3, 2, 1. It's not so bad.
Yay! Nice work, go team. I don't think I breathed at all then. But it's like, maybe what we do is we move it to the back and then we tilt it up a little bit, then we can rest it down. And then I can just make sure that it's like in the right and we can sort of shuffle it back and forward. Okay.
My ladder just did the same thing yours did.
Yep, so we're gonna lift it up and see if it clips into like the front panel. I might have to go from the back.
Not something shifting.
How does it look from where you are?
It looks good.
So with some friends' help, we managed to get the unit on the roof. It is very exciting to have it up here on the bus. I did end up making a frame to help reinforce the roof. So what I have done is basically got liquid nails in the top, and then I've also screwed them in from the side here. So that's just going to give the roof a bit more support. I managed to get my Dometic FreshJet 7 Series Plus air conditioning on the roof today, but the air conditioning isn't 100% installed just yet. It is most of the way there. I still need to put my ceiling up and get my electrical connected. So I will come back to you guys in a couple of days when I do have my ceiling up and we can install the air distribution box together. But it is such a milestone to have this one up on the roof and such a huge upgrade to having my bus. So I'm very excited about it. So yeah, I will see you guys in a few days, my time, but pretty much in a couple of seconds, your time. And we will get the rest of the Dometic FreshJet 7 Series Plus from Caravan RV Camping installed. I have been so busy over the last few days installing my ceiling, and I'm so happy with how it turned out. The last thing to do on the air conditioning install now is to put up the air distribution box. So let me show you how to do that. This is the air distribution box, which will get installed up onto the ceiling, and that will basically hold the air conditioning unit in place and obviously distribute your aircon through the unit. Depending on how thick your ceiling is will depend on how many ducts you need to use. I do have quite a thick ceiling, so I am using all of the ducts, which is perfect. You'll need to make sure that you measure and check just how thick you need to make your ducts in the air conditioning before you put it up. Another really cool thing about the Dometic FreshJet 7 Series range is that there is a built-in air purifier, making sure that you have clean, cool air in your bus, van, or caravan. It is such an added bonus of this already amazing unit. In your air conditioning unit, you obviously need to have it wired up. So I had my electrician run a 240 volt wire earlier in the build, which will get connected through to the air conditioning wire. And then there is also this communication port that plugs into the air distribution box. But it does also come with these little cable connectors, so that will help with wiring up the 240 volt on your air conditioning unit as well. In the time being, since I am not having it connected electrically just yet, I will just be tucking these up the top for the moment so that they are nice and safe and out of the way. But once I do finish my build and I have got my electrical system in, I will make sure to make a video that shows exactly how this unit is used off grid and on the road, so that, yeah, you can see how it performs and get an honest review. When it comes to securing the box up into the roof, you have 4 of these bolts. So they basically go through each corner and you just screw them up with a hex head drill bit. Because I am only one small human, I do have a little extension pole here. So this is going to hold the unit in place while I do drill it in. So yeah, it can be a little bit awkward when you're trying to install things by yourself, but this is a great tool to have. Before you put the unit up, make sure that these filters on the side are slightly pulled out. If you are connecting your communication cable, that comes through the back here and connects right up to this point here. So that is super easy to run that through, which is why you need to have these filters out. Because I won't be running them right now, I can push those in, and let's see how we go getting this up by myself. Okay. I can see that that is lined up with the bolt holes. Okay. I'm not putting too much pressure with this pole either because I don't want to obviously damage the unit. So if you are using one of these, be careful. It's basically just resting on it. And then all we need to do is bolt these in through the screw holes. And it is as simple as that to get the air distribution unit up and installed. The last step then with installing the air conditioning unit is obviously putting on this cover so it looks nice and pretty. It just clips into place, nice and easy. And as simple as that, the Dometic FreshJet 7 Series Plus from Caravan RV Camping has been installed. It is going to make such a huge difference to keep my bus nice and cool in those warmer months. And the design is just so beautiful. It honestly looks so sleek in the bus. And last but not least, arguably one of the most satisfying parts of an install is taking off this plastic. And that is it. She is all installed. I'm so excited to have the Dometic FreshJet 7 Series Plus on my bus. Stay tuned for a future video where I test out this unit while I'm living on the road, how it goes off grid as well as connected to shore power. But yeah, I'm super happy with how this looks and cannot wait to test it out.